So this is the video section 2.2, which is about subsets, different relationships of sets. We have subsets, proper subsets, and equal. And so this is part 2 of the video, and we're going to add a few definitions at the beginning of it. So I've also, again, listed out my sets, A, B, C, and D. My subsets says here in this case, list all the subsets of each set below. Begin with the subsets containing 0 elements, then go to 1, 2, until you have everything that you have to see a pattern. And what I mean by that, again, is remember empty set is always a subset. We had that defined on video on the part 1. So you should always start with empty set. And that's saying that there's 0 elements in that. And we're going to go now to, okay, let's list a subset of A, which we're looking at here, with only 1 member. So only 1 member, what I mean by that, would be 2 or 3. Then we would go to all the way up to the set itself, because subset includes the set itself. So my purple is 0 elements. My navy there is 1 element. Then there's 2 elements, and we would keep going until we get to the set itself. So this one is easy enough to do out. We don't want to do this for all of them because I'm going to tell you that it eventually gets to be much bigger. But in this one, we can start looking for a pattern. We're going to use inductive reasoning here. With set A, the number of elements, and remember that's the cardinality of A, is equal to 2 because we have 2 members. The number of subsets that we just got was 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4. And we're going to be looking at a relationship between these two. We're going to now look at B and do this same idea. So we're going to list the subsets for B. We're going to start the same way we did above. So we're looking at B, and so I'm just going to highlight so that you're clear on what I'm doing on this one. We start with no elements, which is empty set. Then we go to 1 element, and we're looking at set B. That would be 5, 9, 10. Then we're going to look at 2 elements at a time. That would be 5 and 9, 5 and 10, and don't forget 9 and 10. And it doesn't matter the order you list these in, but you can see that I'm looking for basically a pattern when I do these problems. And my last subset would be the set itself, which is 5, 9, and 10. So if I look back again at my set, B, that's what I'm talking about here. So remember, this is the cardinality of B. Cardinality of B is 1, 2, 3. There are 3 members in the cardinality. 3 members of B, which is the cardinality. Number of subsets for B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, we would want to keep doing more of these to look for a pattern, but you're going to start to see that this is going to grow very large. So we're going to look at a chart here next that I've actually already done some of them out, so it doesn't take as much time to come up with the relationship. We want to come up with a relationship between the number of elements and the number of subsets. That's what we're looking for. So in my chart, I've already listed some out for you, just so again that we can quickly discuss this. We're looking at the number of elements, which is here. Okay, that's the cardinality of my set. So empty set has 0 elements. A1 has 1 element. A2 has 2 elements. A3 has 3 elements. A4 has 4 elements. What I did here in the middle is I actually listed out for you the subsets already. So the subset of empty set is just itself, because remember, we start with empty set, then we go to 1 member, then we go to 2 members, all the way up to the set itself. So we did actually the third and fourth one here, but if I look at A, there are 2 subsets. There's one here and one here. This is the one, A2 is the one we did above. where we had set A on the top, which was 2 and 3. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the same idea as we did above. A3 was the one we did above, which was set B, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the one that we just did above. Just wanted to kind of show you how this chart is working. Set with A4, which has 4 elements, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That wouldn't have been one that I would have wanted to list out, but you could have. You start with 0 elements, then you go to 1 element, then you go to 2 elements, and so forth. Now again, that gets much more lengthy, but what I want you to do now is I want you to look at that first column that's in yellow, which is the cardinality. This is really just the cardinality of my sets. I'll call it A sub x, just so you see there. And I want you to look at the number of subsets, which is here. Remember, I say don't start with the first, because it can give you something and lead you down the wrong direction. So I'm going to actually start with the 2. 2 to 4 would be 2 times 2, right? But that doesn't work for 3, because it would be 3 times 2 that doesn't work. But we should see a relationship here with the green ones I've highlighted, that you're actually multiplying by 2, which actually means, I'm going to rewrite it over here. This is actually 2 times 2. This is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And so if you count up how many 2's I have here, and I can go backwards, you actually should start to see that it actually has that pattern related to the yellow on the left. For 16, that actually is 2 to the 4th. For 8, that is actually 2 to the 3rd. For 4, that is actually 2 squared. So it's relating the elements to my exponents. Do you need to explain this? No. But you are expected to have this memorized. I wanted to show it to you so that you could understand where it comes from, but it does need to be memorized. So for set D above, if we look back up at set D, right here, D has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the cardinality of set D, I'm going to just write it down here just so y'all can see it on the page while I'm talking about it. Cardinality of D is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Following this format, we should mean that we're going to multiply by 2 again, which would be 2 to the 5th, which is 32. And you absolutely do not want to have to write all of those pieces out. We're looking for that pattern. If we had a set E that had 7 elements, we would then say 2 to the 7th and put that in our calculator, which is 128. Definitely don't want to do that either. This is the formula you need to memorize. Make sure you highlight it. Make sure you know for the test, because this is an easy question as long as you have reviewed your definitions. Number of distinct subsets within elements. Remember, that's the cardinality. So we're talking about subsets here. This would be 2 to the nth power. Think about how we can expand this now. If I said I only wanted the proper subsets, what is the difference between a subset and a proper subset? The only difference is the proper subset cannot be the set itself. So if we look back at that chart above, we're only taking off the last subset we listed. So proper subset would be 2n minus 1, because we're taking off that set itself. Memorize this, because you do not want to list it out, and it's a super easy question on the test, homework quiz. So let's look at an actual example here. You can order a new car with any of the following options. You have CD player, 4-wheel drive, keyless entry, emergency road service. How many different orders can be made? Selecting from 0 options, because again, maybe you don't have the money to do it. all the way up to 4 options. And this means, again, it could be any kind of combination between this. You would not want to list this out, but we would go through again. What's the cardinality of my set, my options? So I'm going to write that out just so you're clear. The O is options. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So my cardinality of that is 4. So the number of subsets, which would be how many different ways you could choose, starting from 0 all the way up to its set itself, would be 2 to the 4th power, which is 16. Not hard, easy to make a careless mistake.